There will be a great deal to be excited about, and you know that is much more fun when it is shared. January 9, 2017. Today we will speak about truth. Rather, we will speak about the truth, that which has never changed and which will never change. We will not enter into a long discussion of what that is, except to say that it is embodied in the life you see around you. If you remember, we mentioned that your world is experiencing great change, and that there are several new realities developing there at this time. We said that some of these would fall away and others would merge. Said another way, you will, over time, reach consensus. What we wish to point out to you today is what that means to each of you individually. How do you deal with the interim reality? First, you need to understand that in a difference of belief, the one you are having the difference with may well be living in a very different reality. Is this different than what you have always experienced? No, it is not. At one level, it has always been a fact that each of you lives in a world of vastly differing experience and reaction to those experiences. Therefore, the one with whom you may be disagreeing may very well be just as correct as you are. It would be far better to learn from that person or persons than to insist upon your correctness. On the slightly higher level, there will be entire groups of people who have invited completely different constructs of reality into being than what you are seeing. It will be necessary to keep this in mind as your world moves forward. How can your world live with their world? Again, this is not a new problem. How can we be what we need to be without interfering with your right to do the same? It does not take violence to find the answer to that question. Other species on your world do it all the time. Now, we still have not reached the level of truth, although we have spoken of things that are true. Let us say this, at any time that individuals or groups begin to argue over what is true, neither of them are in truth. Each may be in perception of something that is true, but it cannot be truth if it leaves any room for dissension. Until a level is reached where what is true is one and self-evident, it is not truth. The best evidence that one is nearing the level is that everyone will be able to accept it as true. It will be the capstone of the pyramid, so to speak. Of course, it is quite possible to reach agreement on something that is quite untrue, but none of you is incapable of knowing when that occurs. In fact, it would probably have been the goal at the outset. There have been many times in this planet's past, during which new realities have been hammered out. Often it has taken catastrophic occurrence to cause this to happen. You are now living through another such time. This time it could happen much more smoothly. Unfortunately, there remains a system of control, and some who stubbornly refuse to allow it to pass. But what is happening is, in fact, the divine, and you may correctly interpret that as collective or universal determination that such a system will not endure. We will further tell you that this is not the only location in this star system that is undergoing this type of change. There are things happening here that are unique, and there is much that is not. Returning to the main point of this message, please realize that your abilities to work together, live together, and thrive together, to take care of one another, need to become greater and used much more often. Please understand that your collective emotional responses have a great deal to do with what you live through next. And in this new energetic environment, cause and effect are not going to be so very widely separated. You will need each other. Try loving each other. Besides, there will be a great deal to be excited about. And you know that is much more fun when it is shared. Channeled by Ron Head. RonAhead.com